Episode 7 announcement focused directly on the repercussions on the galaxy following the rebel heist on the Aldhani garrison. The balance of perspectives from the characters continues to be an excellent aspect of the series, and the episode was no exception. As the news of the rebel attack sent shockwaves to the heart of Imperial Center, a meeting by the Imperial Security Bureau for Investigations has been called by Colonel Wolf Yularen. Yularen's appearance stoked visions of nostalgia to see the Colonel back on our screens, and now played by British actor Malcolm Sinclair. He was a good likeness to the original actor played by Robert Clark in the 1977 Star Wars A New Hope. As a former admiral in the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars, and close friend to Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, Yularen by the time of this meeting has been in the ISB for the previous 14 years since the Empire's rise to power. I think it was great to see Yularen deliver the ISB's reaction to the rebel attack, and it makes sense that someone more senior would address the officers and be seen to be taking a tight grip on the situation. The scene opens with Yularen addressing the officers over the immediate introduction of measures to the entire Empire. Intended to be heavy-handed in order to deter any further attacks, the measures include imposing a tribute tax to any sector sheltering rebel activity, and also a permanent removal of Imperial tolerance if cover is provided to the rebels by a local custom or festival. When Yularen mentions he spoke to Emperor Palpatine, and he has been assured the ISB will be leading the Empire's retaliation, you realise just how close Yularen is to Palpatine, and how misleading his rank of Colonel actually is in terms of his access to the Emperor. During Palpatine's reign, very few individuals had direct contact with the Emperor, and so Yularen's relationship with him meant he was considered part of his inner circle and trusted individuals. Although this ISB meeting is 5 years prior to the meeting on the first Death Star, it could be possible that Yularen is already part of the Joint Chiefs alongside Wilhoff Tarkin, Cassio Taig and Antonio Motti. Back to the meeting, and Yularen in the scene informs the group that the Emperor's influence has made sure that no one will have trouble accessing army and naval resources, and also amendments to legislation will empower the ISB in all matters of surveillance, search and seizure, in order to impose harsher penalties on anyone convicted of criminal acts affecting the Empire. Yularen informs them that the Public Order Resentencing Directive will be invoked. Feeling her superiors are treating the Aldhani attack like a robbery, Lieutenant Dedramiro feels the Empire is playing into the rebels' hands, with hard-hitting measures that simply appear to be an announcement. Although the Empire's response of sweeping measures are harsh, it is clear it will not deter or prevent a determined Luthian rail from building a growing insurgency network. When Yularen mentions the Empire knows how tight to close their fist, it is reminiscent of Princess Leia telling Grand Moff Tarkin the more he tightens his grip, the more systems will slip through his fingers. Miro knows this approach will simply further turn the galaxy against the Empire and make the insurgents even more difficult to detect. However, while the rebels come to terms with the aftermath caused by the Aldhani garrison attack, in a very shrewd and unorthodox move, Dedramiro enters a data facility to catch an unsuspecting attendant Falsonis napping on the job. Demanding complete discretion from him, she requests 2 years' worth of analysis data covering Imperial naval bases and repair facilities for specific missing equipment. With this data, she knows she will be able to prove her theory to Major Partagas that a coordinated rebel threat is real, and the Aldhani attack was certainly not an isolated event. Later, while Partagas gathers the investigation officers to a meeting, and after criticising Supervisor Young's recent performance, he turns his attention to Supervisor Blevin, who wishes to raise a charge against Miro. Although Blevin accuses her of violating the ISB's sector protocols, she cleverly mocks that in Blevin's quest to point out her misconduct, he appears less interested in furthering integrated Imperial security. I think it was great in this scene how Major Partagas appeared to lure Blevin into a false sense of security to attack Miro's integrity, knowing she would ultimately prove him wrong, and show her determination to prove her theory forced her to break the rules. Realising her endeavours has uncovered verified presentable data, and Blevin's charge was obviously about self-preservation, Partagas responds to this by reassigning the Milana sector to Miro. As the underdog throughout these last few episodes between these two rival ISB officers, it was pleasing to see her finally make Blevin look juvenile in front of his peers. I also liked how Major Partagas clearly sees Dedramiro's potential and ingenuity, so when he calls her to join her for a moment outside the meeting room, his guiding comments over her handling of Blevin further reinforces his approval of her. For more Imperial-focused videos, please show your support by giving a like and subscribing. Thank you for watching, and as always, long live the Empire.